Welcome on this tutorial. Wish all you are well. This is continuation of previous tutorial on maximum power transfer theorem. In that part we have discussed about maximum power transfer theorem. We have learned there how to prove maximum power transfer theorem. We have calculated what is the maximum power at load when the maximum power is transferred from source to load, that is 50%. We have learned graphical representation of power at load with respect to the variation of load resistance. We have calculated value of efficiency when maximum power is transferred from source to load. In this section, I will discuss applications of maximum power transfer theorem. As an example, I will discuss application on signal transmission and public address system. Next, I will discuss different steps to solve numerical problems on maximum power transfer theorem. I will also solve all numerical problems on maximum power transfer theorem stepwise. Please subscribe the channel. Click the subscribe button which is at bottom right corner of the video screen. Application of maximum power transfer theorem. Here I have shown two applications. One is related with signal transmission in communication system, another one is public address system. For the case of signal communication between antenna and receiver, signal at antenna is very low, and to get maximum signal from antenna to television receiver, we need to match the output impedance of antenna with input impedance of TV receiver. Similarly, when we want to get the maximum power from amplifier to audio speaker, the output of audio amplifier should be matched with input of audio speaker to get the maximum audio signal at audio speaker. If somehow output impedance of audio amplifier is not equal to the input impedance of speaker, then some extra arrangement should be required to get the maximum power at out. We can use the audio signal transformer with a particular transformer ratio. Input impedance of the speaker is 8 ohm, that is the load impedance, and output impedance of audio amplifier is around 4 to 8. Now, if the output impedance of audio amplifier is not equal to input impedance of this speaker, that is 8 ohm, then audio signal transformer will be used in this case. When we will use audio signal transformer, turn ratio should be such that it should follow this equation. The equation is Z out is equal to NP by NS whole square into Z load. This is the output impedance of the amplifier, and Z load is input impedance of audio speaker. Say for example, this is the amplifier having output impedance is 1000 ohm, and this is the speaker which is having input impedance 8 ohm. So there is a mismatch between these two impedances. So to get maximum power at speaker, we must use audio signal transformer. This is that relation Z out is equal to NP by NS whole square into Z load. In this case, Z out I have defined as Z1 and Z load I have defined as Z2, and NP by NS is equal to N square, that is the transformer turn ratio. So what will be value of this? N is equal to Z1 by Z2 whole root. Z1 is equal to 1000 ohm and Z2 is equal to 8 ohm. Ultimately we will get a ratio of 11.2 and 1. So to get the maximum power at speaker, we must use audio signal transformer whose turn ratio should be 11.2:1. For solving different network problems related to maximum power transfer theorem, what should be the steps? First step is the complex circuit should be converted into a source and internal resistance, and that can be done by using Thevenin's theorem. The equivalent Thevenin resistance will be considered as internal resistance, or that Thevenin resistance will be value of load resistance to get the maximum power. This is one numerical problem related with maximum power transfer theorem. We have to find out value of R here to get the maximum power at this load. Along with that, we have to calculate what will be the maximum power at load. To solve this, our target is to find out VTH and RTH. To find out VTH, this load should be removed. This is the circuit to find out VTH, which is open circuit voltage. How we can find out VTH? We may use several ways to calculate or to find the VTH. I am using one way here. VTH is potential at point X with respect to potential at point Y. this x point is point A. So at point A with respect to point Y. This is the combination of potential across this 1 ohm resistance and source 6 volt. So we have to find out potential across this 1 ohm resistance. To find out potential across this 1 ohm resistance, we need to find current through 1 ohm resistance. To find out current through this 1 ohm resistance, we will use shunt formula. In this case, whatever the current will flow through the network, this 6 volt source will have no contribution because the ground terminal of this 6 volt is open. So whatever the current is flowing through this network, that is flowing due to the presence of this 4 volt supply. So this is main current due to this 4 volt supply. This main current is divided into two parts. One part is going through this 5 ohm resistance, another part is going through this 2 ohm resistance. This current is defined in this circuit as I2 and this current is defined in this circuit as I1. So the total current I has been divided into two parts. This is I2 which is flowing through 5 ohm and 1 ohm resistance, and this is I1 which is flowing through 2 ohm resistance. So to find out this I2, we need to find value of main current I. How to find I? I is equal to V divided by R. Here V is 4 volt divided by whole resistance, means equivalent resistance of the combination resistances here. So we have to find equivalent resistance of this combination. To find out equivalent resistance, we need to find which resistances are in series, which resistances are in parallel. To understand that, this is the main current. So if we start walking from this 1 ohm is in series, then it has been divided into two paths. This is one path, this is another path. So the equivalent resistance of this path will be in parallel with this path. So ultimately equivalent of parallel combination of this and equivalent of the whole will be in series with 1 ohm. So equivalent resistance of this one is 5 plus 1, that is in parallel combination with 2. Equivalent of this will be in series with 1 ohm. So this is R equivalent. So 4 divided by R equivalent, ultimately we got 5 by 8 ampere. So we got current I. Now this I has been divided into two parts. One is I2, another one is I1, and we need I2 because ultimately we need to find out voltage across this 1 ohm resistance. So what will be the value of I2? I2 will be main current multiplied by resistance of other path, that is 2, divided by resistance of full loop, that is 2 plus 5 plus 1. So ultimately we got I2 is equal to 2 by 5 ampere, and that is in this direction. So I have to calculate the voltage across this 1 ohm resistance. That will be current flowing through this 1 ohm resistance multiplied by this 1 ohm, and ultimately we will get 2 by 5 volt. So we got voltage across this 1 ohm resistance. Now what will the voltage at point A with respect to point Y? That will be the combination of this voltage drop and this source voltage. As this is in downward direction, so this will be plus, this will be minus. So potential at A will be summation of these two because this is plus minus plus minus. So ultimately we got a value 6 plus 2 by 5, that is 32 by 5. This 32 by 5 which is our required VTH. 32 by 5 is equal to 6.4 volt. Now we have to calculate RTH. For RTH we must remove this load and all the sources will be replaced by their internal resistances. In this case nothing has been mentioned regarding internal resistance of these sources. So we will consider the internal resistance in this case is 0. So in place of both sources that will be short circuited. So this is the circuit. To find out the equivalent resistance, we have to see which resistances are series and which resistances are in parallel. For that we will start walking from this direction because we want to find out the resistance between these two points X and Y. When start walk from this, one path is this one, another path on this one. So these two are parallel, no doubt. If we again go forward, then we will get another two paths. This is one path, another path. So this is again two parallel paths. So what will be the combination? Parallel of this will be in series connection with this 5. Ultimate equivalent of this 3 is in parallel with 1 ohm. If it is difficult to understand, then we may redraw this circuit as, and from this circuit we can easily understand that 1 and 2 are parallel, 5 is series with that, and after finding the equivalent of this 3, 1 will be in parallel connection. So ultimately we will get 1 parallel to, this will be in series with 5, and this will be in parallel with 1. So this is RTH, and ultimately we got the result, it is 0.85 ohm. So according to the maximum power transfer theorem, this is the internal resistance, and this internal resistance should be equal to load resistance. So directly we can say the value of load resistance is 0.85 ohm. Next we have to calculate the maximum power. The equation already we found. This R is load resistance or Thevenin resistance. VTH already we have calculated 6.4, and RTH is 0.85. Ultimately we got 12 watt. So this is value of maximum power, and 0.85 will be the value of load resistance to get the maximum power at load. So from this discussion, what we have learned? We came to know what is maximum power transfer theorem, how to prove maximum power transfer theorem, different applications of maximum power transfer theorem, what are the steps to solve numerical problems related with maximum power transfer theorem, and at last we have practiced one numerical problem. I believe we got idea about maximum power transfer theorem.